A bunch of CEOs friendly to Donald Trump met with him last week, and they were stunned at how little sense Trump made, how Trump couldn't stick to one topic. It's just random statements and sentence fragments coming out of his mouth. And it is the next layer in Trump's brain going mainstream. Andrew Ross Sorkin on CNBC spoke to some of these CEOs, and they said, listen, we're sort of like on the Trump train, you know, but something's wrong with this guy. Listen to this and take a think. Afterwards, I want to give you my thoughts about it.
I will say I was surprised. I spoke to a number of CEOs who I would say walked into the meeting being Trump supporter-ish or thinking that they might be leaning that direction, who said that he was remarkably meandering, could not keep a straight thought, was all over the map, and that they, which maybe not surprising, but was interesting to me because these were people who I think might have been actually predisposed to him and actually walked out of the room less predisposed to him, actually.
I'm sure Andrew Ross Sorkin must just have Trump derangement syndrome or something, right? This is a critical little detail. There are two themes here. The people who spend time around Trump end up blowing the whistle and going, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Something is not making any sense. These are Trump-friendly CEOs invited to a roundtable meeting with Trump. They're like, yeah, we're kind of on board with the whole thing. And then Trump's in there saying his sentence fragments, one thing and then another thing, and not completing a thought and telling wild stories, I'm sure. And they come out of it and they go, I was surprised by the way he was behaving. It just didn't really make any sense. Despite all of the people who don't ever interact with Joe Biden making claims about Biden, nobody who actually spends time with Biden comes out and makes similar statements. Now, I know that you might say, well, in that Wall Street Journal piece, they had Kevin McCarthy saying, yeah, but Kevin McCarthy previously said about the exact same meeting that Biden seemed completely fine. He now, apparently, for this debunked Wall Street Journal piece, has allegedly changed his mind, even though he's not actually come public and said, yeah, that's what I said. It's all, well, you know, after X meeting, Kevin McCarthy told other people that something was wrong with Biden. Maybe. We don't have proof of that. What we do know is that Kevin McCarthy himself has said in that meeting that he had with Biden, Biden was completely fine. So think of the theme here, both when it comes to the cognitive stuff and the political stuff. When you look at the people that are used to be around Trump, John Bolton, Rex Tillerson, Cassidy Hutchinson, right? At high level, low level, cabinet staffers, aides, whatever. They are the ones that come out and go, this guy should not have the keys to the car. This guy is not with it. He's not competent. He can't do it. He should be nowhere near any of this. Those are people who were around Donald Trump. And then on the other hand, you have no one that works or worked with Biden with any of this stuff. None of it. You hear in corporate media, oh, Biden froze and he wandered off. And not a single person around Biden has come forward and said, on the record or off the record, hey, this is what's going on. We gotta, put an earpiece in his ear, and we've got to give him a diaper, and we've got to have signs with color. He's using crayon now when he writes his executive order. That doesn't matter, right? I mean, we're being hypothetical here. Not a single whistleblower who has said any of this stuff is true. Now, you could react to this if you wanted to defend those who say something's wrong with Biden. You could say, you know what, David, it might just be that Democrats are much more authoritarian in threatening whistleblowers or leakers, and they've got it all tamped down so tight that you can make that argument. But when there have been things going on inside White Houses, disagreement about some major thing. Oh, there's people inside George W. Bush's White House. They're completely opposed to what Bush is doing in Iraq, and they're circulating a letter. It leaks. It always leaks. You would have to believe that supposedly demented Biden has put in place an environment so strict and functionally strict that everybody who would love to blow the whistle and go, listen, Biden he doesn't know what day it is. He thought it was Saturday. We had to tell him, no, sir, it's Monday. You got to work or whatever. you would have to believe that they've done something no other administration has been able to do in terms of limiting, restricting, and preventing leakers and whistleblowers. Or you just have to believe the stuff isn't happening because we're not hearing about it from a single person with direct knowledge. I lean on the simplest explanation. That's where I am, which is it's not coming out of the White House because it's not actually what's going on. And the people who used to be and spend time around Trump are saying something is really weird about what's going on with this guy. And if you want to see another example of that, an ironic example, we're going to talk about that next. Have you seen these people search sites? It's a big data privacy problem in the United States because they publish detailed personal profiles on millions of Americans online for anyone to see. And it is crazy. They can show your address, your internet activity, license plate number, even your political or religious beliefs. Government agencies like the FBI and NSA even buy this data to potentially use against you. Our sponsor, Incogni, is the affordable service that will send automatic data removal requests to these data brokers who are required by law to comply. Incogni even follows up with the data brokers to make sure your data is permanently gone, and Incogni keeps you updated every step of the way. I use it myself. It is remarkable what they can get done for you. I barely get any spam and robocalls anymore, and these data broker lists are where they're usually getting that information. That alone makes Incogni worth it. And my audience gets 60% off. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman. The link is down below.